All right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. So underneath here is a truck I've been trying to get for a couple of years, and I've been trying to get it in good condition. So I've been looking for this, and I finally found one on eBay. So it's a two-wheel drive truck, I'll tell you guys that, and it's not what you think it is. So let me go ahead. I'm going to get this cover off, and I'm going to reveal to you what's underneath here. And then I'm also going to let you know what I plan on doing with this vehicle as well. Drum rolls, please. So this is an ECX Ruckus. Now, for those of you who are new to the hobby, you probably never heard of the ECX brand. They came out 12 to 15 years ago, and they had some decent vehicles. Their cars were running about 100 to about 120, and they were completely ready to run. Now, this is about the second or third version. They have a fourth version that came out, but they're no longer selling their product. I mean, you may be able to find some in hobby store stuff, but they're no longer selling any of the ECX brands. This was done through Horizon Hobby, and they're no longer doing it. So this, of course, is going to be, I think, the version 2.5 or something like that, where they went ahead and upgraded the motor, because the first versions came with a 20 turn 540 motor, and then also a speed control stuff. But they came with everything in the box. And of course, for you guys that may know the history of them, this is not the original radio that it came with on the version 1. Those radios were 2.4. No, they weren't even 2.4 gigahertz. They were actually like AM radios and stuff that came with them. But for the price point, you were good with it. So I had been looking for this vehicle, and this orange one with an orange body, for a long time. And I found one on eBay, and this is in good condition. Let me take this top off. And I wanted it with the box, because even though the box is a little bit torn, I still wanted the box stuff for it, because I'm not really going to run this really hard. I'm going to do some mild modifications to it, and I'm going to do a build video on this as well. And I did pick up a couple things. I started putting stuff in the box. I've had this for, I don't know, about 2 months or so, but I did pick up a couple of things I'm going to add in here. So I'm going to take out the system that's in there, and I'm going to add this to it. I'm going to add the steel gears you guys see there to it, the updated steering and stuff for it. And then I also do some modifications on the drive shaft. So let me go ahead, let me get this truck out real quick. So like I said, I did get this off of eBay, and I've been looking for this, and this is in great condition. I'm going to try to see if I can find another orange body. They also have this in orange and green, and they kind of did an updated version that has kind of more of a futuristic body. But I love this body, and I love the look of this truck. I wish ECX was still around, because they not only had a two-wheel drive monster truck, they had a two-wheel drive short course truck. They also had a buggy called the Boost, which was probably one of the best buggies I think I had ever bought. I'll probably try to look and find one of those. And then they actually had a four-wheel drive 8-scale buggy. I think it was a 3S buggy that had that too. I have all these videos on my channel, guys. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I've had just about as many RC cars as I do videos on my channel with that. But anyway, I was looking for this, and I found this, and this is in good condition. This is in excellent condition, actually. I went ahead and removed the radio that was in there, because the radio wasn't the best in the world. It was like it wasn't so much of a 2-in-1, but the way it was kind of designed just wasn't what I wanted for this. So I went ahead and took that out. That's why you guys don't see this particular piece here, but I am going to go ahead and install a different radio in here, and I'm probably going to run it stock out the box with this 15-turn motor in there on 2S. Now you guys see that this is a Taser speed controller, 15 turns, so you can only go down to a 15-turn 2S on this. And I'm not even sure if this has an LVC on there. And this did come with a battery too. So yes, 15 years ago, people were still running nickel metal NiCad batteries, and this is one that comes with it. So I'm never going to use this. I might just cycle it through just to put some energy on the cell, so it won't completely die out, and put this over in my legacy archive box. But I'm telling you guys, I love this truck, and this was one of the best performing monster trucks, two-wheel drive, that I ever had, because of the longer wheelbase. And you switch the tires out and wheels, you can put a stronger system in it, because the wheels weren't the strongest in the world as far as holding brushless power, because eventually the hexes would eat through the wheel and tear the wheel up. So that's why I chose a brushed system for this. You can still find parts for this. So Horizon still does have just about every single part for this vehicle, and they do have some of the modification parts, and RPM started making parts for it too, like you guys see here. Here's going to be the bell crank steering, which is one of the things I would definitely recommend you upgrade for this vehicle, is going to be that steering for this. And then also a needed upgrade for it is going to be the transmission. So they do have these out there. I think these are about 35, 40 bucks now because it's pretty hard to find them. You can still find some on eBay and stuff, but you guys see there it does have the metal gears in there. This does have plastic gears in, and they did it to cut down on the cost for it. And then I got a system. So they had a sale on Horizon several months ago with stuff, and I believe I got this for 25 bucks or something, which is basically the cost of that speed controller. But you guys see, this is a 3S, if I can recall. This means my guy's got a 70 amp speed controller on it and a 15 turn rebuildable brush motor. So I don't need this thing to go 50, 60 miles per hour. 30 to 35, or maybe even close to 40, which still may be a lot for this with these tires and wheels. Still may be too much, but if I can get this up to about 35 miles per hour on 2S, I'm going to be completely happy. I think it's going to be about 20 something stock out the box, but I'll get this running in the next day or two. So put down in the comments what you guys think is going to run stock out the box with this 15 turn motor. No cheating. No going to other channels that did a video 20 years ago and tested it, even though I know you guys will. And then let me know what you think it'll go with this updated system in it on 2S and 3S if you want. I'm thinking probably about 25 to 28 on 2S and about in the 33 to 35 on 3S, but we'll test that out and see. And then you also have to do an update to these drive shafts. Now, these are okay for stock out the box. When you start putting a little more power to it, put a little light on here, these drive shafts do tend to break. So there is a way to go in and do an update on this. People just went in, they got the Traxxas VXL drive shafts, and they did a quick modification to it to put those on there, and those fit and bolt right on there. So then, of course, too, I got the booklet with this, and that's another reason why I went to eBay to get it, because I did want the booklet and everything too. So this is not going to be one that I'm going to bash out a lot. I'm going to tape the inside of this body up. So I will do a build video on it. So it'll probably be maybe a 2-part series. The next video you guys see with me running this will be pretty much stock out the box, or it's going to be stock out the box, with the exception of I'm going to run a 2S lipo on it. And I do have some 2S lipos, some Spectrum ones that's going to fit on this EC3 connector and stuff for it. But I at least wanted to show this to you guys. I have been wanting to get one of these to be next to my Stampede 4x4, and I'll get there real quick so you guys can see the size difference. And there it is next to my Stampede 4x4. You guys can see the difference in the wheelbase there for that. But both of these trucks are iconic. I got both of these off of eBay. This is brand new, never been ran, except for in the house for a second. It's probably going to stay like that. I do like to at least keep this one in very good condition. And I got one I'm working on, just going to be a basher and stuff for. This is the original Stampede 4x4. I had been waiting 10 years plus, I think the world had, when Traxxas announced this and everybody jumped on. And this was actually the Stampede 4x4, believe it or not, my first 4-wheel drive vehicle back in 2010 R11. I even got a magazine around here. I'll show this to you guys. This magazine here from Car Action that actually featured the Stampede 4x4. Let me turn this light off real quick so it's not as bright and shining off of there. So I still have this magazine from Car Action. I used to get these delivered every day. I had hundreds of these Car Action magazines I gave away at a swap meet, or just about all of them for like 50 cents each or something. But I had this because when the Stampede came out, I was Stampede crazy. So, and they even had like the advertisements and stuff like that for that on here. And they have some stuff for ECX in there too. So at one point in time, I'm actually going to do a video and go through some of these iconic magazines, because I love the way they did this. This was our social media sometimes for RC cars back then. You couldn't wait to get the newest issue of RC Car Action. There was RC Model and stuff like that. But at some point in time, I'm going to do a history of all these companies, with ECX, with Traxxas, with Arma, with Associated, with Losi, Kyosho, Tamai. I'm going to do all of that. I'm going to do it from my point of view, from when I started running RC cars up until today. So you're going to see it from a kid's point of view, from when I got my very first RC car, which was a monster beetle as far as hobby grade is concerned. And then kind of how I went up from there. And I started getting Kyosho cars. Then Traxxas came out. They have the Traxxas Cat, and there was et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of history behind that I want to at least share with you guys. I want to kind of do it for myself to kind of have some fun with this YouTube stuff instead of always trying to work, RC car, work, RC car. I kind of want to get back to enjoying this a lot more like I used to. That's kind of why I have these vehicles too. But anyway, guys, put your comments down below what you think about this. If I run these two, it's going to be very light. I'm not going to get them all muddy and dirty. I do have a Stampede I can do for that. And I may build another Ruckus just for that purpose. If I can find another one that's got another orange bite, maybe not be in the best condition, or if it's in good condition, I can get another one or two, but we'll see. But put down in the comments what you guys think about this, what you think about the RC car action review, because I got a lot of these magazines still. We can just kind of go through it, maybe live, and look at some of the photos and look how things were done over 10 years ago compared to how they're done right now today. So you guys put your comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. And go Team ECX. Electrics RC is what it was called back in the day.